Should you detoxify while you are pregnant? That is a great question for the panel at the Functional Forum.
Dr. Ellie Campbell has a question, and she's from Atlanta. She runs our Atlanta meetup, which is a big, consistent meetup. We're a big fan of her. She says about detox during pregnancy. Too many pregnant mums with overwhelming nausea is, if toxic and pregnant, how do you help people? And I'll direct that maybe to Jeff first, and then I'm sure Penelope, you may have an impact, a question about this, because didn't you give your TED talk while you were pregnant?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Pregnant woman to ever give a TED talk.
Really? Okay, there you go.
That's my claim to fame.
Well, do you want to start? I mean, you've probably talked to people about this. Okay, Jeff, you want to start?
Obviously, our first rule is that we don't want to detoxify a person while they're pregnant, because a lot of those toxins are going to be mobilized and go into the fetus. The placenta is actually a very good detoxifying organ. So basically, what is not going out of the woman's body can go into the fetus. And so probably just the best way to start out with, and I'd love everybody else's opinion, but just making sure that the exhaust system's working, getting all the toxins out through the back end.
Okay. Andrea, you want to add to that?
Yeah, I've led a lot of cleanses and detoxes and always have pregnant women in them. And what we have to do is make sure everything's working functionally first. There isn't constipation, but also slow it down quite a bit. So I think it depends on what we mean by detox and cleanse. And I like to lead food-based detoxes and cleanses, so they're slow enough that there isn't a lot of toxic dumping, but of course supporting the body and all the detoxification organs.
Jeff, I like what you said there about using the word detox and that idea to just sort of trick people into lifestyle change, which isn't as sexy as maybe doing a detox. Is that something that you sort of consciously did, or have you just arrived that that's a good sort of energizing factor for people?
Well, I think just about everything I'm doing is tricking people into doing something. It's somehow they arrive in my across the desk from me, and they're like, I want to get here, and secretly I have to help them to get over here. So, which is exactly what you were saying, which I really appreciated. So.
Penelope, what are your thoughts? Pregnancy, detoxification? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I'm sure you can imagine I could talk all night about this.
Give it a go.
But this is absolutely true. The idea that you are, in fact, carrying everything that's going to pass into this baby, and you want to be very careful about what you do have circulating. You don't want to release anything. So, for example, when you're pregnant, your body is basically searching for calcium. A lot of calcium gets leached and it releases lead. So making sure that you're not calcium deficient is really helpful. You don't want to deliberately go through that process and say, well, hey, this is actually the most perfect time to do that. Your baby will detoxify you. In fact, studies have shown that having a baby and breastfeeding leads to much less toxicity for the mother. Unfortunately, we know where it's going.
Yeah.
And so that
it's not a net win.
No, not for anyone. I think, encouraging pregnant women to certainly look at their diet, to eat well. We know that there's been a great study out of Duke that shows that leafy green vegetables like spinach are really good in dealing with the effects of things like BPA, for example. So cleaning up diet, meeting toxicity where it comes from, and trying to rectify it there. Moving, pregnant women can move, they can exercise, they can be healthy, and they can support the process in that way. But, actively, aggressively detoxing, really, it's not the time to do it.
Thanks so much for watching, and for more great clips like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I've created a special free video just for you called Harnessing the Power of Community in Your Practice, and it'll give you a clinical model, practical tools that double as marketing, and strategies to develop a community of your peers. All you have to do is click on the link below.